Why is grace so amazing? We all know Ephesians 2:8, for by grace are ye saved through faith, that not of yourself, it's the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. But I don't think we really understand the depth of those words. I think the best way to get into this topic of why grace is so amazing is, let's talk about the guy that wrote the song.
Everybody knows the song Amazing Grace. What they might not know is the context in which it was written. First of all, John Newton was a notorious sinner. As a matter of fact, he was willing to give people a prize if they could think of some way, some sin that he had as yet not committed. So here he is, it's 1748, and he's on a ship called the Greyhound, and a tremendous storm comes up. And I mean, they are being battered, and it's almost certain they're going to go under. And Newton says to the captain, he said, if God does not have mercy on us, we're going to go under. And the captain is shook because here's this hardened, swearing, hard-drinking, slave-driving person saying, if God doesn't have mercy on us, then what? So all of the men were trying to man the pumps to keep the vessel afloat. Newton had a Bible his mother had given him. And even on the ship, he read these words. Now, just think of the context. This is actually from the book of Proverbs, but he's reading this, and he reads, if you had responded to my rebuke, I would have poured out my heart to you and made my thoughts known to you. But because you have rejected me when I called, and no one gave heed when I stretched out my hand, since you ignored all my advice and would not accept my rebuke, I, in turn, will laugh at your disaster. I will mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm. When disaster sweeps over you like a whirlwind. Yeah, so the guy's scared to death.
Hit you right in the face on that one.
Right. So he's scared to death. Now, eventually, as we might guess, the storm subsided and the sailors were spared. But Newton began to read the Bible. Could I take time to read his words exactly,
sure,
as I quote them in my book? He said, I needed someone to stand between me and a holy God who must punish my sins and blasphemies. I needed an almighty Savior who would step in and take away my sins. I saw that Christ took my punishment so that I might be pardoned. Little wonder, he wrote, Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. But John, even so, there are many people who do not really understand how amazing grace is. I remember in Chicago there was a news commentator who was quoted in the newspaper as saying this, someday I'll do something about my spiritual life and my walk with God if I get serious about it. Now, he said, in fact, I am not in a state of grace, but I can do something about it if I get serious about it. Well, the simple fact, John, is that that shows that that man still did not understand. He did not understand the nature of grace. Because there's nothing we can do about our condition, no matter how serious we get about it. As long as we are still thinking that we can do something about it, we still do not understand grace, which is God's unmerited favor toward us.